You know, it's really sad to see what has happened to the game industry. Yeah, it's grown into something that probably no one ever thought it would have decades ago. We have all sorts of consoles and handheld devices. We have all sorts of games. We have single player games. We have multiplayer games that allow us to play with people.
We got a really big variety.
Video game graphics are unbelievable today. We have thousands of games across many different genres right at our fingertips. And this sounds great, right? It sure does. But let me sour it for you now. In order to have fun today with games, you must open up your wallet constantly. Do you want that cool skin for your
Dude, let me break out on that. So, what the video is about is company greed that's ruined gaming. Honestly, I know for a fact that it's ruined it. Greed doesn't come in good forms. What greed does, it ruins a lot of stuff in the end. It might sound good for the greeter, but in the end, they fall. Because, bro, if you're messing with people's money, you're messing with these folks, you're going to fail, bro. And all that money that they're trying to grab from people with these microtransactions is successful now. But do you really think that it's going to stay successful? I don't believe it. I can't believe that he'll just keep getting away with it.
character or that cool gun camo, well, feel free to hand over your credit card information and purchase it straight from the microtransaction store.
Yes.
Or hey, feel free to spend money on that battle pass and then spend hours grinding it to make sure you unlock everything that comes with it. You want to play a cool Star Wars game where you play as Darth Vader mowing down rebel scum? Great, just be prepared to play for hundreds of hours just so you can unlock him and other characters. You want to play Warzone with that perfect assault rifle you just crafted in Gunsmith? Alright, go for it, but be...
See, as a Call of Duty player, or as a former Call of Duty player, I'm on and off with it now. I really don't play it as much. But, dude, I feel like Activision is the biggest, grittiest company that's out there. And they are the prime example of what's wrong with gaming today. They saw that Fortnite was a free game. They saw that there were spending all that money, or I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, I think that the way that Fortnite designed their game, Call of Duty wanted to tell behind them and copy a lot of the stuff, especially with the microtransactions, make a Warzone free, and if you want this, then you gotta pay for it, and overpricing it, way too much money for a bundle, way too much. For a gun and operator that's only existing on your game for $30 when you could have done something else with it, it's still people buy it. Yeah.
Be careful, your teammates are dressed up as the Easter Bunny and other animated characters that can be easily spotted miles away. Are you thinking about going to school to become a video game developer? Cool, but just a heads up, EA expects you to create a multiplayer game that brings 100 million players to it. It's the only way the game succeeds in their minds. But there should be a lot of job openings out there, right? Since 2021, at least 37,500
they're laying people off
have been laid off
for AI.
And don't worry about all those studios closing. Xbox has everything under control. You might be catching on to the point I'm trying to make here. We might have the prettiest looking games and the smoothest controls in the history of gaming, but the industry itself is in a lot of trouble, and it's due to the corporate greed that is plaguing the industry.
Yep.
At this point, corporate greed has almost completely destroyed the fun factor in gaming, and it really sucks. So in today's video, I'm going to rant
They really did.
discuss the current state of the game industry. They have cut thousands of jobs across studios like ZeniMax, Activision Blizzard, King, and Raven Software. We have seen jobs get destroyed, games get canceled, and studios close. And it's all because of corporate bullshit. Phil Spencer,
I don't care. Activision is the most greediest company. I don't care what people say. They're the greediest of all.
Certain things like AI, the cloud, Game Pass, and their marquee franchises. Microsoft, like many other companies, is shifting heavily towards AI. They are pushing for automation so human roles become less vital thanks to tech becoming more capable to handle those responsibilities. We are currently living in an era that I have named the Great AI Scare because companies would rather have AI make half-ass slop content. Companies are willing to destroy
What did I say?
to protect their bottom line. Yes, I know AI is a great tool, but it's not perfect, and it's actually really embarrassing and funny to see these companies use it without checking it. Remember the
So going back to AI, what he said that it was embarrassing, It really is, bro. If you are sitting here saying that you need AI to come up with the artwork because you are too greedy to hire some talent guys or talent women, whoever, some talent people that can actually put down the work and make it to where it's almost perfect. But instead, they rather save money so that they can stick in their pockets and throw out some bullshit as whatever for the game. It'd be a bunch of bullshit they throw out because AI generated. But anyway.
Controversy surrounding Black Ops 6, AI art was being generated and it came up with hilarious results like the zombie with 6 fingers, and then there's AI voice actors supposedly replacing the actual voice actors for well-known.
Oh yeah, I remember Call of Duty talking about they had AI actors for voiceovers.
For quest and dialogue creation. The corporate mindset in this industry is all about money. There's no focus on fun. These companies have ridiculous expectations. As mentioned before, it came out months ago that EA supposedly expects Battlefield to have 100 million players. Like, come on and get real already. There's a ton of games out there and new games are coming out each month of each year, and there's always going to be some competition with a big juggernaut like Call of Duty. So what is EA going to do? Shut down DICE if they don't reach 100 million players? Hey, how about you just focus on making Battlefield 6 the best Battlefield game we've had in 10 years?
So talking about Battlefield 6, bro, this game looks fire, bro. I played the first day or the first week of the beta, and I actually enjoyed this game. But I'm telling you, bro, if they let greed get to their head, but more than likely, once greed hits, what did I say at the beginning? When you are greedy, you're always going to fail at the end. You see the state of Call of Duty. You see what direction they're heading. So, Battlefield, please don't screw it up, bro. It's the first actual war game that we had in years that a lot of fans are been looking for. So, please don't screw it up, bro. Please don't.
Every year, publishers like EA, Embracer, and Activision Blizzard rake in record profits, and yet it's never enough. The expectations are always lifted to an unrealistic height. I become a very cranky gamer over time because I have hit live service fatigue, and I'm honestly just fed up with the monetization of this industry across all kinds of games.
I feel you on that, bro.
A single-player game or a multiplayer game, there's always extra costs everywhere in a game. I think many players have become exhausted at this point. We want quality gameplay in games like Call of Duty and Battlefield. I remember back in the day, the way you earned gun camos was simple. You just needed a certain amount of kills or headshots. It was not such a chore to gain XP and level up.
Dude, sorry pausing so much, but dude, the OG Call of Duties were phenomenal, bro. I remember when I first started. No, I didn't start on OG Modern Warfare 2, but I did go back and play it. Wonderful. It's wonderful. But I started at Black Ops 1. I was probably 10, 11. I was in middle school when I first started playing Call of Duty. And bro, I mean, these OG Call of Duties were just perfectly out there. Yeah, they have their own problems, but it just seems like they were at the sweet spot. And y'all know the phenomenal Black Ops 2, the greatest of all time. And a lot of people are going to have their own opinions, but Modern Warfare 3, that's on this pause part, was one of the best games. To me, it was, because I joined in at, I would say I went towards the end of Black Ops 1, but I was able to play Modern Warfare 3 at its launch, when it was at the very beginning, and I played all the way to the end, and dude, I did not let my gears loose up on this one. And then, of course, when Black Ops 2 came out, dude, it was wonderful too. I loved it.
Challenges used to be simple. Like, literally, it was win a certain amount of matches in the game mode, get so many kills with assault rifles, plant the bomb X amount of times. Nowadays, you have to go prone while capturing a point in domination and get X amount of kills to complete that challenge.
Yep.
But in order to earn and unlock the cool camos and skins, well, you gotta buy the battle pass first and then play 10, 20, 30 hours a week to grind out everything and make sure you actually have access to the content. Rewards for just flat out playing and doing simple things no longer exist. Then you got this crypto bro movement going on, and game companies are being sucked right into that mindset too. Some publishers are even looking into NFT games. Those games feature tokenized skin and ownership models for other items, that just different kind of items in games, skins, cosmetics, things like that. And these items would be yours to use across different games. How many gamers out there really give a shit about owning a helmet that you could use in 3 or 4 different games? Who's really asking for this? Now comes the part where I go after Ubisoft. For a variety of reasons, Ubisoft has been under fire now for a while. They have made bad games of late, and they're doing and saying a lot of controversial shit. They have been doing a lot of copy and paste with their biggest franchises, and then there's their CEO, Yves Guillemot, who has been saying some stupid...
See, he's talking about Ubisoft when they came out with that. What was that first-person shooter game? Oh yeah, Estefan. I played that a couple times, and dude, it was pretty fun. And then bam, they had to shut it down. Like, bro, what? I guess they were the next Call of Duty killer. Now it's Battlefield 6. Man, I guess we'll just see. But yeah.
Shit that has pissed off gamers, including myself. According to Yves, microtransactions make games more fun because players can personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. Hey Yves, we usually call them characters, and it's actually fun to play through a game's quests and story and unlock stuff while playing the game.
I like the Valhalla.
Exploring the world and finding the cool loot.
It was kind of fun to me. But it was so long, bro.
I don't find it fun spending $70 or $80 for a video game today and then having to spend even more money to make the game more fun. It's ridiculous that the best armor and weapons you can get in a game like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry come from microtransactions.
Yeah.
And then they promote this shit constantly all throughout the menus. Then the skins get out
Now
of control.
that's what I hated about the game.
Serious because the armor doesn't fit the theme of the game. Lastly, isn't the point of playing a game to actually play it and try to win it? Well, Ubisoft thinks it's more fun to spend money to level up and progress quicker. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example,
I like to earn all mine.
XP boosts in a single-player open-world game where you already have tons of opportunities to level up and find new gear? What is with that? But hey, they loved it because they earned over $1 billion from that offering. And you know what? I better not hear a damn word from Ubisoft about downsizing the company after this, because they definitely have the money to pay the people after that one. So now I have a couple of points to make about Star Wars Outlaws. Yves made some comments about that game that ticked me off again. I played Outlaws and it was a massive disappointment. The idea of the game was great, however, there were many gameplay issues. It was a bland open world despite...
Bro, I didn't play Outlaws, dude.
Station, space battles, and ultimately the story fell flat. Star Wars Outlaws was a financial failure for Ubisoft, and they reported big losses in its recent financial report because of it. Well, Yves pointed the blame elsewhere. Yves admitted the game didn't reach their sales targets. As to why, Yves explained it this way. The game suffered from a number of items. First, it suffered from the fact that it was released at a time when the brand that it belonged to, was in a bit of choppy waters, and the game had a few items that still needed to be polished, and they were polished and debugged in the early weeks, but it did not affect sales volumes. Okay, let's break this down for a minute. First off, blaming the company that allowed you the right to make this game is crazy. Yes, we all know things aren't great with Disney Star Wars, but you guys wanted to make this game. You wanted to make a Star Wars game, Yves. Why is that? Probably because of money. It's an IP that you could cash in on, and you should have cashed in on, but you guys failed to make a good game. So in other words, according to him, the financial failure of this game lies in the hands of Disney and the gamers because we didn't want to play it, and because Disney has a bad track record right now. So all the people who didn't make this mid-game are at fault. That's bullshit, man. Now let's look at the other part of his response. I am so sick and fucking tired of developers and publishers finishing their games weeks, months, and years after the launch. And that's where I catch him in a lie too. It didn't take just weeks to patch and debug the game. They fixed things literally months after. It took more than 2 or 3 weeks. So he's bullshitting us in this quote too.
So yeah, so that's the biggest problem with a lot of games, is that the fact that they will bring a game out, and then the first day there's already thousands of things that are broken, and then they will take months and months on the end just to fix that one problem. And then a lot of times they will brush it over their shoulders like there was nothing there. So I guess it's made them save money. I don't know.
And it's one thing to fix issues, but when you literally have to rework your gameplay for a game to function better and be more enjoyable, well, you automatically lost. Ubisoft made drastic changes to the gameplay of Outlaws because the stealth gameplay was so trash. I played this game at launch, literally day one, or week one at least, maybe not right on that first day, but I got it right away.
Yeah, so if you are a company that is making millions and millions of dollars, and you have all the resources to make this game, I'm not saying that you can be perfect because you're only human. But at the same time, you made millions and millions of dollars and you got unlimited resources just about. The game should not be unplayable on day one. That is just the number one rule. On day one, the game should not be broken. And then all of a sudden you have to tweak out every bit of gameplay and every aspect of what the game should have been on the first day of release. I mean, just simple as that, right?
And I really do despise the fact that so many games are completed or fixed months after launch when I've already beaten the damn game. Same with Cyberpunk 2077. Look, I love CD Projekt Red. They created my favorite game of all time, The Witcher 3. But Cyberpunk was a colossal failure. I also played that game at launch too, and it was the worst launch experience I have ever seen.
Yeah, I heard that game was so broken.
Years of gaming. And I'll give them a little credit for not abandoning the game. They stuck with it. You know, they made the DLC. They reworked a lot of systems. They added things.
Oh, that's surprising.
Ultimately, it still doesn't live up to what they promised, you know, years ago when they were teasing the game and making the game. But the fact that they won the Best Ongoing Game Award back in 2023 is also wild. The game is 5 years old now, and even at the time when it was 3 years old, and it's still being perfected. The only reason why my attachments in the game are pointless because what's the point?
Bruh, what did I say? Activision is the most greediest company. And this is one of the reasons. Look at it. This is one of the 100% reasons why they are failing like they are. And I saw a thing to where they actually made it to where Black Ops 6 content was not crossing over to Black Ops 7, but it's still going to cross over to the next Warzone. But bro, this is exactly the reason why Call of Duty is failing. When you were already successful from the start with what you already have, with the aspect or with the things that you were going for, and then all of a sudden you want to be Fortnite's creepy uncle, whatever you want to call him, dude, you're going to fail. You were already successful. Why did you have to change so much? You're going for the casuals and the new generation of kids, but why, bro? You're already successful. They would have liked the game anyway. So that's exactly why y'all failed. But anyway, I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Using a silencer or putting on a long-range scope on your gun when every map is small and it's all close quarters combat. It's just a waste. It's a waste of time. It's not needed, even though that stuff is really cool. You know, I get
that shit looks so ugly, bro.
Or not, but what is the point of adding new features and modes when the game has shifted from a military shooter to an over-the-top Fortnite?
What I'm saying.
Now, I'm recording this video around the time of the Battlefield 6 beta. Look, I truly hope Battlefield 6 turns out to be good. We haven't had a good Battlefield game since Battlefield 1, in my opinion, and someone needs to make Activision go back to the fucking drawing board and actually take a look at what players want from future COD titles. Can somebody please make a multiplayer shooter that focuses on military themes? I don't want to be Snoop Dogg, I don't want to get killed by Nicki Minaj, and I don't want to feel like I'm playing a Star Wars game because I see red, blue, and green tracers flying around.
Hey, for real.
If the corporate overlords are wondering why their games are failing and why they are receiving so much flack, all they need to do is go back in time and look at the original winning formula for these games.
Bro, what am I saying? What am I saying?
Halo. They can still make good games.
They are detaching from the roots, bro.
Well, let's face it, they're never going away at this point. But please, for the love of God, design a fun video game for once. If you design a fun game that everyone buys,
they don't want to.
Stick around and play it for hours upon hours, just like we used to do back in the day. And if they really like your game, they'll drop a few extra bucks here and there on stuff that they want from the battle passes or whatever you offer in the store.
If you make the game enjoyable enough.
Remember this. They need to reward us.
I don't know, bro. I'm because this video is short, but being greedy is just gonna get worse and worse. It just seems like they are gonna do it till everything's up in flames, bro. But the greediness of these companies it's insane, bro. But anyway, I'm out of here, bro.